Okay, so what are the components in this is the Verilog code that I have already copy pasted in case of your reference. So if I'm going to system Verilog test bench, then what are the component? Anyone? If someone is going to explain, ask you, okay, explain me the system Verilog test bench environment, then how you are going to explain?
We need to have a packet generator driver that is given to interface through DUT, and we need to have monitor, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So step by step we'll go. Either you go to top to down or you go from bottom to top. Okay. Let I am going from bottom to top. So first class I will have, that is transactor. Okay. So in the transactor class, what we'll be doing, we'll be describing all the required variables that we are going to generate. So in the transactor class, we are going to describe, just 1 minute. Okay, so transactor class means you have to describe or you have to declare the variables that you are going to use to generate, okay, or to send to DUT. See, it's not like the variables. Let you want some things that you want reusable. It is kind of reusable. Okay, let take an example of FIFO. In the FIFO, the write enable, read enable, write data. Sorry, in write data, read data. These are the signals that I'm going to use in generator for generating purpose, in driver to drive the signal to DUT, in monitor to capture the signal from DUT, and in scoreboard. So everywhere I'm going to use those signals. So instead of declaring all the signals in those classes, I can simply declare them in the transactor. If you need, you can declare constant. If you need, you can declare some functions for display or any other thing. You can declare in the transactor. It is moreably reusable class. You are going to use this class in generator, in driver, in monitor, as well as in scoreboard. That's why you are moving to OOPS concept, because if I'm writing a module, it is not usable, but this OOPS concept, it is reusable. Whenever required, I can create it. When I don't need, I can delete it. Okay. Next part is the generator. So whatever the packet you said, okay, the variables in the packet you are going to describe in transactor, and where you are going to generate those packet in the generator class. In the generator class, you are going to randomize the transactor class and generate required signals. Okay, Kaushik, do you have any doubt? Hello?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, so randomize the transactor class and generate the required signals. Okay, so in the transactor, your generator, you are just going to use the randomize function. Here also, if you require, you can add any constant. It's up to you. Next, coming to driver class. This is the important one. Okay, so generator, it is just going to generate the values. So what driver will do? Okay, first thing, it converts the packet label signal signal to pin level. So what do you mean by packet label to pin level? This generator, it is a packet. Let transactor. Okay, so in the generator class, what I'll be writing? I will first declaring a object for transactor. Then I'll be writing tr.randomize. So let transactor have some 5 variables. So all the 5 variables are going to randomized here. That all 5 variables are in packet level. They are grouped inside one object. But if I want to send them to DUT, I need to separate them, because DUT means it has 5 input. So it requires 5 signals. You just can't send this packet direct to DUT. So first you have to convert packet level to pin level. So how normally we do packet level to pin level? If someone has the test bench code, then you have seen like transactor dot input one. Sorry. This is my interface. Okay. Interface dot input one equal to transactor dot input one. Then interface dot input two equal to transactor dot input two. Like this we write in the driver. So what we do, whatever the signals are in transactor or inside the generator class, okay, all the signals are in packet level. So we are converting this packet level to pin level. Okay, because duty, if it has 5 input, it needs 5 signals. It won't accept the packet manner. Next is driver decide.
Ma'am, why do we use non-blocking signal in driver, ma'am? I mean,
actually for input we use for input. Okay, to drive the input.
Yeah, ma'am. For input only we'll be using non-blocking.
Because input. So okay, I will tell this. Okay, why we are giving in this non-blocking manner. Okay, so next is driver decide which signal should be sent to DUT at what time. Okay, let in FIFO you have in the FIFO you have some condition that whenever valid in equal to 1, at that time FIFO works normally. That means you have to send the input signals whenever valid in equal to 1. You just can't send all the signals at a time. First, you have to wait for valid in equal to 1, then you have to send the signals. Or let you have reset signals. So you have to first wait for reset is deactivated, then you have to send the signals. Generator don't know these things. Generator work is only to generate those values. Now it's up to driver. It will decide at what time, which signal you are going to send to duty. Let some signals, whenever valid in equal to high, after 3 clock cycle, you have to send some signals. So it will be done in driver. Driver will first valid, it will make first valid in equal to 1. Then it will wait for 3 clock cycle. Then it will send all the rest signals. So 2 what driver is doing. First, it converts packet level to pin level. Second, it drives the required signal at required time. It decides. Okay. Don't, if someone's asking, don't simply say that driver means it drives signal to duty. Okay. Say these 2 points. Okay. So now your question was why I am using non-blocking assignment. See, in if I am using in blocking assignment means it will be executed in sequential manner. There is a high chance that there is one input 3. That depends on input 1 and input 2. Okay, so let my input 3 is equal to simple input 1 and input 2. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay, so input 3 is equal to let input 1 equal to input 2. Okay, so if I am using non-blocking assignment, then at the same time input 3, input 1 and input 2 will be changed. But if I am using blocking assignment, what will happen? This input 3 will take the input 1 and input 2 value. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here let, okay. Okay, so let this is input 1, this is input 2, okay, and here this is ended. This is my input 3. So here what will happen, input 1 and input 2, it will be changed in the same time. But if, okay, in the same time, in whatever the previous value of input 3, it will take those values. Or you can say that this input 1 and input 2, input 1, 2, 3 are changing at a time. But if I'm using blocking assignment, there may be this kind of condition that the input signal will get updated and the updated value will be given. So we don't want that. We want that at a time all the values should change. It is like concurrently. Okay, so that's why we are going for non-blocking assignment whenever we are giving the input values. But for output, we can use blocking assignment. But for input, we use non-blocking. Okay. Understood this point, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next part is monitor. So monitor 42, it's simple. Okay. So driver decides which signal should be net what time, and it sends signal or drives signal to DUT through interface. Okay. So remember, whenever you are writing or test bench, your first work is to write this interface part. This interface contains all the input output signals plus clocking block and mode code. So first you have to write interface, then transducer, generator, driver, like this. First your work is to write the interface, because you should know what are the inputs and outputs you are going to use. Okay. Next monitor part, it samples the signal from DUT through interface. It simple takes the signals, whatever the signals DUT is sending, it simple take those signals. Okay, it converts pin level to packet level. Your DUT signals are pin level. Okay, pin level to packet level, and send them to scoreboard. So in the scoreboard, what we do? It compares the expected result, or I can say the DUT output. Okay, so it compares the DUT output to required output. So in the scoreboard, you are going to write the reference logic, or simple, you have to mimic the DUT behavior. What is difference between this, the reference logic and DUT? Your DUT, it is synthesizable, but whatever the reference logic, that may or may not synthesizable, but DUT must be synthesizable. So like you can say in the scoreboard, you are just going to implement how the DUT is behaving. Okay. So next is their environment. This environment in simple contains the generator, driver, monitor, and scoreboard. Then you have test. In the test, you are going to contain the environment. Then you have the top. In the top, you are going to instantiate the module and run the test. So here the question is, okay, why I need an environment? Without environment, can't we do? Okay, without environment, we can do it. But this environment is again for usable purpose. Okay, let you have two interfaces. So you will be needing two monitor, two scoreboard, two generator, like this. So you can simply group them inside the environment. Let at some time you just want to like replace the generator by another generator, or generator driver through another generator driver. So at that time, if you have grouped them inside one environment, then it will be easy for you. So it is just for grouping purpose. Okay, so whatever the generator driver monitor, we can simply group them inside the environment, because sometime we may need two or three interfaces. So two or three interfaces means two generator will be there, two driver will be there, two scoreboard will be there. So we may get confused which scoreboard belongs to which one. So it's better to group them: environment 1, environment 2. Environment 1, generator 1, driver 1, scoreboard 1, monitor 1. Environment 2, generator 2, driver 2, scoreboard 2, like this. Similarly, if I want to replace, let's generator, driver, scoreboard, all the things at a time. So instead of replacing one by one, I can simply replace the environment. So that's why this environment remains inside the test. Okay, so just wait 1 minute. Here, system video. So this is the simplest one. Okay, so this is for UVM because agent is there. Okay, this part. So generator, transactor, driver. Okay, so generator is going to send this transactor class. Okay, now driver will send through interface to duty, then you have environment, then you have
Ma'am,
test.
down here we have monitor scoreboard also, ma'am. There, side. That one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So generator driver, again monitor will be getting those data and it will be sending the scoreboard. So now my question is how monitor is going to send the data to scoreboard or generator is going to send the data to driver? Through mailbox. Okay. Through mailbox.